6:49 p.m. on a Sunday, Boston, Massachusetts.
Guys, I got some news, some terrible news. We got a huge problem.
I feel like we could do a podcast and it would be a million times better than whatever that drivel was we were listening to.
What the hell is a podcast?
What is that? The future of radio.
Heyo, and welcome to the Always Sunny Cast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm your drowning sailor, Ross.
And this is the podcast where we go through Always Sunny, episode by episode, scene by scene, and we break it all down, we discuss it, we talk about references, we look stuff up online, we say, what are they talking about? And then we look it up and we find out what they're talking about, and we report back to you.
Yes. Yes, Eric, that is what we do. That is what we do.
It might have been the most complicated way I've ever said it. And Ross, I think it's safe to say that today we are talking a classic. Would you call this a classic?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone loves this episode because of the implication, right?
Well, yeah, you've been saying that word
It's
quite
extremely,
a lot.
it's extremely memorable.
It is. It is memorable because it's so insane. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just so
Right.
crazy. And yeah, but there's other stuff it has that like are long lasting, namely Dee's dancing. That is like
Yes,
true,
absolutely.
like a thing that is constantly referenced still, like among the fans, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally. I think that was, it's like, I feel like that joke of the comparison of dancing to the inflatable car lot thing,
Yeah.
like, has been used and reused so many times since.
And this is like 2010, and you almost want to think like that hasn't, like, that's truly like the first time that comparison has been like kind of put together. Don't you feel like a person?
Yeah, I hadn't heard it prior to that.
Yeah,
And
no.
apparently the guys had this joke locked and loaded for like a few years, and they just didn't have a storyline to fit it into.
Really?
Yeah.
That is how
I
would you
watched
hear
the
that?
commentary
Oh, nice.
for this episode, yeah.
I'm so happy you did that. That's great. That's nice. Good. Let's do it. You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Season 6, Episode 3, The Gang Buys a Boat. The original air date is September 30th, 2010, written by Charlie Day and Rob McElhenney, directed by Randall Einhorn. And Ross, what is the IMDb summary? Now, before you say anything, like the summary of the episode is The Gang Buys a Boat.
You're right. It's like a fancy way to say the title.
Yeah, I mean, how do you describe this without just saying the gang buys a boat?
Well, I'll tell you. The IMDb summary is, the gang attempts to open themselves up to adventure of the sea after they purchase their new, in quotes, boat.
Well, that is a fancy way of saying the title. I mean, that is a
Right?
fancy way of saying it. Yeah, it's essentially the title, which I love that about this title, is that it's just, that is what happens.
Flat out what happens.
Yeah, it's just flat out what it is. Like, the gang buys a boat. And this episode came out in 2010, so what was going on in the world when this was written?
There really wasn't anything like noteworthy in the world that was happening. In fact, they wrote this episode because Rob had recently got into boating. So
Oh, interesting.
it was more personal to them, I guess. So the 2010 fact I have is Forrest Fenn, an art collector, hid a treasure chest of jewels, coins, and small pieces of art worth somewhere between $1 and $5 million in the Rocky Mountains. He included a poem that detailed like a bunch of clues as to where it was, and it wasn't found until 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how is that tied to this episode? Because I'm struggling. Because usually, if this is your first time listening or anything, usually Ross's year trivia ties into the episode some way, and I'm feeling to understand like.
Well, Charlie finds a bunch of treasures, hidden treasures under the boat.
Okay, fine. Wow. I mean, some of your connections have been loose, but that one is like, that's about to fall off.
Thank you.
All right, Ross, I see you got a nice pot of delicious little oysters boiling up there, so I guess we're ready to jump into the cold open.
Let's do it.
Cold open, 10 a.m. on a Saturday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mac, Charlie, and Dennis are in an office discussing a boat purchase. And before we start, get anything on the boat salesman here?
Oh, the boat salesman is named actually in the episode Tad Sally.
They named him Tad Sally.
And never called him
That's
Tad
a
Sally.
great name. That's a great name. Okay.
He's played by Seth Morris.
Yes, Seth Morris, UCB comedian. Yes, of course.
Correct. Most famously, Bob Duca from CBB, right?
Yes, Bob Duca, yep.
All right. He was in The Big Leap, Big Mouth, Veep, Love, The Good Place, Children's Hospital, Kroll Show, Parks and Rec, The League, Happy Endings, and he was a double dipper on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, he works. He pops up in everything. Yeah, it's great. He's on Improv for Humans. Yeah, he's on Improv for Humans all the time and stuff. So, yeah, he's great. Incredible improviser. And
you notice he's wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Now, is that an actual Tommy Bahama shirt? Is that what those are?
That is.
That's
a Tommy Bahama shirt.
He's a party animal. That's cool.
He is. And he's that pinky ring that Charlie references at the end of the scene.
Yeah.
He just wore it to set. And they were like, yeah, keep that. So Charlie's actually like making fun of him.
That's really funny. Well, I wonder if Seth Morris was like in character as this guy,
showing up in
like
character.
A boat guy would wear something like this, or if Seth Morris was wearing a pinky ring. I don't know.
I like to think the latter.
That's funny. All right, so yeah, we got the gang here, and as always, the gang sitting across from someone at a desk is just always funny.
It's been a long time since we've seen something like this, too.
Yeah. And it's good to have the three of them lined up there. And apparently, Roz, they've come into some money. And now they describe this as a considerable amount of money. Now, This was still just, this was in 2010, but they come to say that they are $2,500 flush with cash. Now, Roz, is that a considerable amount of money?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking here, you know?
Selling like the rights to like a thing you made up.
Depends on how popular. You know what I mean?
I don't
need
know,
more information to answer
me,
this question properly.
Because they sold. So we come to find out that they sold dicktowel.com.
Oh, okay. I thought it was from sales of towels.
Oh, really? No, I don't think that's what they mean. I think because the way they say it, he's like, I believe they sold off. Maybe they did. Maybe it is from the sales. I didn't think of it that way. I was thinking they sold it off. Because if we remember the end of the episode where they invent the kitten mittens.
Right. I think the lawyer gets the rights to it, right?
Well, the lawyer got the rights to the Patty's Pub stuff.
Yeah.
Was that part of the Patty's Pub stuff? They never really clarified.
No, they didn't.
But they are I was thinking like they sold it somehow.
They sold
to the
business.
lawyer, yeah, or just like they sold to someone else, so the lawyer's dealing with them and not them. You know what I mean? Like they sold the business, so someone else has to deal with it and pay the lawyer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was very unclear. I thought it was just from sales. So
yeah, maybe, but it just doesn't seem like you're going to buy a boat. $2,500 doesn't seem like
not even close to enough.
It doesn't seem like enough money to me. I don't know. So that's what they're saying. So they've come into a considerable amount of money, $2,500. Now they also mentioned how they got their friend here, Charlie, to throw in his life savings.
So
now,
is that on top of the $2,500?
That's what I want to ask you. Are they saying? And
what that number is? What is his life savings?
That's what I mean.
We got to see the difference
because they, and it's interesting too. We'll talk about it later when they do buy the boat because they have money left over somehow. Like
right.
I know the boat is shitty, but
like there's no way they have money to go buy other stuff after.
Exactly. So yeah, so they've come in, and then Charlie has thrown in his entire life savings. It's not really clear whether that's the full 25 or 25 plus. It's not really clear. Mm-hmm. And so, and they have decided they want to live the high life. This is the first kind of mention of the high life because he does mention they get back in the high life again later on. But they want to live the high life, and the high life to them is owning a boat.
Yachting.
I guess. Yes, yachting. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they've come down to the decision. They're gonna buy a boat, but first, Ross, let's talk needs.
I have a need for speed.
He says it's inherent. There's nothing he can do about it, and that is so perfect for Mac to be the Need for Speed because it's like actiony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
it's like aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive. Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like aggressive, like speed. Yes, but then we switch over to Dennis, and Dennis has more of the idea of like a boat where we're gonna be entertaining people. We're gonna be having parties on it, and even
P. Diddy
Mac.
style.
Yeah, Mac joins in and specifies P. Diddy-esque style parties.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting that Mac and Dennis, like the team up between Mac and Dennis in this episode, because he drops the speed thing. The speed thing is completely dropped.
Oh yeah, he goes right on board with like Dennis's concept and vision for the boat.
Yes,
right?
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The host, like Charlie, will not, because then we switch over and we find out that Charlie wants to talk shrimping. He wants he wants to haul what he calls a tremendous amount of shrimp.
Forrest Gump amount of shrimp.
I don't know like how shrimping works, but like, is there shrimp there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there
Whether or
shrimp?
not there's shrimp in the Delaware River,
Like, it's just
I don't
such
know
a
where
funny
they are.
thing, like shrimp and you've seen Forrest Gump. Have you seen Forrest Gump?
of course I have.
So you think like the whole shrimp, like I know exactly what he's talking about. Like,
Yeah,
the
like
big shrimping.
huge nets of shrimp.
It's very funny. And so
You should be writing this down.
yeah. Well, let me see if I get this straight. They're looking for a fast boat that is. How does he put it? I forget exactly how he puts it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. P. Diddy-esque
Oh, like P. Diddy.
style shrimping vessel.
Shrimping vessel, yes. And that's right. That is exactly right. That is what they are looking for.
And they are impressed with his listening skills.
Yeah, considering the pinky ring and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And then on the dock, they decide to buy the drowning sailor.
Well, here she is, the drowning sailor. But doesn't meet, well, any of your specs.
Look, I'm gonna level with you, pal. We saw this coming a mile away, and we've had our hearts set on this boat thing for days now, which in our world is a level of focus in which I personally have never experienced. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say
We'll take it.
that. What are you doing? I was doing a thing.
Yeah,
but I was doing it.
taking way too long. We wanted to buy a boat. Let's
Well,
get
it was
the boat.
taking a little while because I was doing a little presentation that was
Dennis,
gonna
what
lead
if
into.
someone walks down the deck and makes an offer before us?
Nobody's gonna make an offer before I finish my thing.
They
that I'm
might
doing.
have. We're not the only people in town that
They're
want
here.
I'm confused. Are you going to take the boat or not?
Yes, we're taking the boat. We're buying the boat. We want to add a little fanfare into the situation. My friends here, they couldn't wait for that. Yes, we're taking the boat.
And Russ, I made this the clip for one specific reason: is the way Dennis is talking in this scene. It makes me laugh so hard every time. At the end of the scene, when he says, "But my friends, they couldn't wait for that,
They couldn't wait.
for that." But
that.
for that makes me laugh so hard every time. I don't know what it is about that pause, but it's like he's psychotic. You know what I mean? Like he's so crazy in that moment. Like, but my friends, they couldn't wait for that.
Wait.
Like his brain is moving too fast. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I love it. I love it so much. And it's just a funny thing where like Dennis is gonna go on this speech, and they'll take it. They'll take it. And like, why does Dennis want to do this? What is up with this? The fanfare that he wants to put into this.
I don't know. He wanted to give like a little bit of a speech,
Why?
a little performance, presentation. It's funny.
Like, the why of it is.
And who's that
there's-
for, by the way?
Exactly. That's what I
Is it
mean.
for the gang, for morale? Is
Like,
it
I don't-
just to impress this boat salesman? I
And,
don't
like,
know.
It's because it sounds like Dennis is gonna refuse. And Dennis has an interesting thing here about how, you know, they've been fired up about this boat idea, and it's the longest that they've ever like stayed focused.
Concentrated on one idea.
Yeah,
like,
concentrated on one idea, and it's like he's ever experienced them. You know what I mean? It's a very funny idea because they are always like quick onto the next thing.
oh yeah, they're so volatile. They're like, yes, no, I don't care.
So that is interesting. And then the little fun idea here of like, well, someone could have came down the dock and bought it. Like, why would you? And Dennis have to being like, no one is gonna do that. It's just
Are you going to take the boat or not?
Yeah, we're gonna take the boat. I mean, obviously, obviously, yeah, we're gonna take the boat. But I want as a fan, but my friends, they couldn't wait for that. It is just like there's something about this scene that is so fun. It's so quick, but it's just like the whole premise, the whole idea of wanting to make a speech, interrupting the speech because you think someone's gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Like the speech sounding like he's gonna say no, but yes, of course, yes, he was gonna say yeah because
like dramatic turnaround,
right?
Yeah.
And you like look at this boat, and the boat is like it's terrible looking. And the guy even says this meets none of your specs, like, but
right.
they only have $2,500.
Exactly. And even Dennis is like, I saw this coming from a mile away.
But like they say yes, and they want this boat. So obviously they don't expect too much out of it either, I guess.
It was like, what can we get for this amount of money?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then they get the title card. The gang buys a boat.
And how do you feel about that title card, Eric?
The title card looks nice. I like the quotations. I like the font. It's good. It's a good title card.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And I know we touched on this. This is the first season that's shot in HD.
Right.
So the guys on the commentary, they mentioned that they reshot this in HD, the opening sequence.
That's interesting.
Yeah. They tried
what does that mean, though? Isn't it just like a computer that, like... What does that mean, shoot it? What's being shot? Isn't it like...
Well, they reenacted the whole...
Oh, the driving
title sequence. Yeah, the driving.
I thought you just meant like the title cards and the words and stuff. No. The actual driving around.
Yeah.
So this is technically like a new opening.
Yes.
Oh.
It's a new opening, but they try to recreate it like
as much as they could. Yeah. Oh, interesting. That is very interesting. Wow, thanks for bringing. That's a good.
It's almost like you don't even pick it up, but when you look at it and really pay attention, everything pops.
Yeah. No, it's good. That was probably the best information you've ever brought to the pod.
Thanks.
Thank you. So then on the dock, the entire gang discusses boat ownership and what it means to them. This starts off with Frank being like, "What a score! Like, this is a score.
I know.
This is a score."
Frank, D, and Charlie have the best attitude about this boat.
100%.
They see the positivity in it, 100%. The whole time.
Yes. D is standing there with her champagne.
Mm-hmm. She wants to take this bad girl out on the sea and see what she can do.
That's right. She's got a radio. She even has like a little radio in her hand and everything. She's ready for this. This is and she even like says her comment here. She goes, "Oh, a houseboat." And Dennis's response is so good. Like, it is such a great like idea of a houseboat offers all the advantages of a house, but with the excitement of the sea. This is such a great response. With the excitement of the sea. They keep talking about setting out the sea and being on the sea, but they're on the Delaware River, right?
Yeah.
No, so that's not is that out to sea? Can you say you're out to sea if you're on the river?
I don't know. Probably not. I
but
mean,
what other term is there? You know what I mean? But I guess if you're out in the middle of the ocean, I guess if you're out in the middle of a lake.
Yeah.
What
are you out to sea?
Yeah, you're not out to sea. Are you out to sea? I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird term.
Where does out to sea begin?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they do. We do establish that they and the Delaware River. I looked some stuff up about Delaware River. We'll talk about it later when Charlie's jumping in and stuff.
Cool. Cool.
Actually, you know what? There's this where well, we'll get to it. It's a couple scenes in a couple scenes. When he talks about the toxic catfish.
Oh, yeah. I got some stuff on that, too. So.
Okay, good. All right, yeah. All right, yeah. So, and Frank is talking about how he can't wait to catch some fish. But Charlie's got a better idea, and he's talking shrimp. Just picture, Ross. Millions of tiny little shrimp crawling all over this boat. Like, everybody's boat.
Can we not talk about the shrimp? We have so much work to do.
I mean, it's a shrimp boat. One conversation about the shrimp would be nice. like the idea.
Yeah, I know.
Poor
guy.
I know, and also like the idea of like they don't obviously they're just saying yeah you can shrimp, but they're not gonna let them shrimp, right?
Of course, right.
So it's very funny for Charlie to like really be like digging it in with like, can you imagine like little tiny shrimp like all over, like millions of shrimp all
crawling
over.
everywhere, all over the boat.
Like, yeah, that's what they want, you know? It's just really, really funny, yeah. And so, yeah, they're not going to focus on the shrimp right now. And this is what Dee's saying, was like, let's take her out to sea.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's tons of work that needs to be done first, which is true. I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like some
it looks
stuff.
in bad shape. You know,
Yeah.
someone was actually living on this houseboat. They used the boat that someone was living on to
Really?
film. Yeah, and they painted it to look way worse than what it looks like. Isn't that weird?
That is weird, yeah.
Why wouldn't they just find something somewhere? Like, why do they have to get a functioning boat? You know what I mean? And make it worse.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like I don't know. That's like always that's what they always do in like movies and stuff. I think like they always have to like kind of like fake it. You know what I mean? Like even though like a real one would do, they fake it anyways. You know what I mean? I think that's just like what they do. So the idea is, okay, we're gonna like work on this boat. So Dennis wants Frank and Charlie to scrape all the barnacles from the bottom of the boat. And Dee and Mac and Dennis are going to go inside and they're going to check out the decor. So then they start like splitting up here. But I got one word for you, Ross. Shrimp. So inside the boat, Dee demonstrates her dancing ability. And when they come in here, and Mac, I have to say, Mac is right. This is not Diddy-esque at all. There's nothing Diddy-esque about this boat at all. I mean,
Yeah,
so we're led to believe they bought this boat without even stepping foot on it.
I know, they didn't even look inside of it whatsoever.
This is the first time going in it right now.
Could you imagine buying something like that? It'd be like buying a car without driving it.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, it's just crazy. But Dee likes it. She's got the positive attitude. She sits down, she puts on the radio. And we got Mo Money, Mo Problems by Notorious B.I.G.
No, this song got stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, I want a little like me as a wee lad. Oh, I loved.
Oh, I love this song.
I loved it. Yeah.
It's such a good song. It makes me feel good. Anyway, I got the pleasure of watching the music video for this. Did you ever see the music video?
Is this the one where they're in like the shiny suits?
It could be.
I don't know.
I was more focused on the golf aspect of it.
Oh, I kind of do remember that there is like a golf subplot.
So this music video takes place in a world where Puffy Woods is golfing for the Bad Boy World Championship PGA Tour.
That didn't happen in
No, that didn't happen in real life.
Oh man, that's cool. No, I didn't. I do remember that. I kind of do remember there being like a golf thing. You know, I was
it's
actually
so weird to me.
You know, they keep talking about P Diddy in this, and I was thinking like maybe this was just like a high thought or something. But I was thinking about like how he changed his name. Like when I was a kid, he was Puff Daddy,
Right.
and then he changed it to P Diddy, and I thought, well, yeah, because Puff Daddy is real stupid. I mean, a grown man named Puff Daddy. It's like it's just not. I don't know. It's something like
it's dumb.
It's dumb, and P Diddy's not great, but it's better. It at least sounds like a nickname of something.
Yeah.
But like to have Daddy in your name, I think is not great.
Eric Daddy.
I don't know. That's a tangent. But yeah, so we got.
Well, we know I have a group of friends that like to call me Ross Daddy.
Oh, that's fiance Katie came up with that. It's just like to make you feel uncomfortable. Oh, what?
That's a real thing. I have a group of friends that actually call me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a Katie thing.
No, I think she found out from that other group and then brought it in.
Yeah, Ross Daddy. Well, you should go by Ross Diddy, if I'm being honest with you. All right, total tangent. So Mo Money, Mo Problems, Biggie Smalls, and Mace is in that song too, I believe.
Probably.
And she starts dancing around here, and Mac compares her to one of those inflatable guys that you see at the used car lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
No, he's spot on.
And she says, no. And he goes, I promise you, That's what you look like. It's a great
I
phrase.
love that.
Yeah.
I love the way he says that. I promise you.
I promise
Like,
you.
I'm on your side on that. I'm trying to help you out.
Like, I'm not even like trying to make fun of you. Like, this is real. And they go on and on about this thing, and then he says like, I'll buy one and show you, and she says, yeah, why don't you bring the guy in?
I love that.
This is one of the best
She's
ones.
not even. So it's like she's not even aware that he's talking about an inanimate object.
But even later on, she's like, I'm learning some moves from this guy. Doesn't she say that? Once she's like,
Yeah, she keeps referring to him as a real being.
yeah, like, it's very funny. Like, bring the guy in. We'll have a dance contest.
Yeah, bring the guy in. We'll have a dance
Well,
competition.
Mac will be the judge of that contest. They said freaked out.
And then Dennis happened to be like a parent in this moment.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be any contest. Stop, everyone.
He even says like, no, you're not bringing one of those trashy things on the boat.
Right, absolutely not.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Dee, stop dancing. You look like an asshole.
Shuts the music off. Now, Russ, there's a lot of diegetic music this episode. How'd that make you feel? Well, all the diegetic music going on.
It felt pretty good. I love the transition at the end.
The back in the high life again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, no, Dee, he shuts the music off. Dee didn't invest any of the money or do anything here, so she has to do all the hard work. That's what they're basically saying here. And so work first, and then we'll dance later. So then outside the boat, Frank and Charlie are loading gear when Mac and Dennis come out and get patronized, and then Frank throws the boat keys into the river. So yeah, where'd they get this gear? What gear?
Maybe it's from when the Dave and Buster's episode. They were, doing a little bit of fishing.
Yeah, it was like
right?
it was like
With the
crawfish
traps
or
and
something.
stuff.
Oh, well, it was like
Yeah.
it was like crabs or something.
Yeah, they were crab people.
Yeah, they're crab people now. Frank's looking forward to catching some Delaware River catfish because this is something he used to eat when he was a kid. So I assume they're on the Delaware River, and I looked up Delaware River stuff.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Well, Frank says that the EPA says that the catfish is toxic, and in 2012, the Delaware River was named the 5th most polluted river in the United States.
Yeah, I hear it's not great.
You hear things?
Yeah, well, I've been on some forums and I found some stuff.
So, but he doesn't think that they're toxic. He thinks they're just endangered.
Correct.
So why?
But I think it's both.
So he thinks the EPA is just like lying about them being toxic.
Yeah, he would have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I guess.
Like supporting his argument.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I love the way he says "toxic my ass," just endangered. Like the way he says that. Like,
right.
Toxic my ass. So then when Mac and Dennis come out of here, they're like, what are you doing loading gear? Like, and it's true. Like, no, we gotta clean the boat before you load gear. Nothing should be on the boat.
Yeah, you have so much work to do. Like, why would you? Like, you can't be adding to the problem right now.
Frank does say like, okay, fine, okay, yeah, well, we're gonna scrape the boat, but Mac seems to think that's patronizing him.
Yeah, we are. We are gonna scrape the boat.
Is he patronizing him?
I think Frank is. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Frank is doing it. Yeah, and it's funny then like no, Charlie's like no one's patronized you, but we'll scrape all these delicious little oysters off the bottom of the boat and we'll put them in a pot. We'll cook them up for you, and by the time you guys get back, and this is like a little side thing of like those are barnacles.
Yeah, don't eat them. Do not eat them.
And then even
do not cook them in a pot and serve them to us.
Do not cook them in a pot and serve them to us. And then Matt going, seriously, do not eat them. I think that's
Again,
so fun.
Mac just being like honest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It was
funny for some reason.
Yeah. Mac being,
Honestly, do not eat those. You get very sick. Now that is a direct order from your captain.
whoa. Well, is he the captain?
Oh, clearly, I'm the captain.
Well,
who else would be the
I
captain?
thought I'm the captain. Like why? Like why would Charlie be the captain? Like I thought. Like isn't it? So Dennis doesn't care. Isn't that strange?
Yeah. No, I mean, Because none of that matters to him. He's looking for he's looking ahead at the goal at the end of the
right,
end of the road.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like because he's like I don't care who's the captain, and Mac calls it. He's the captain. Oh yeah, so Mac is the captain and
scrape. Let's go.
Yeah, they want him to scrape. Let's go, and they leave. But Frank ain't scraping shit.
Yeah, Frank. Frank wouldn't. I don't think so.
So
No.
and yeah, he's like, no, yeah, even Charlie goes, no, like no,
Yeah, we're not scraping. We're gonna fire up this boat, right?
yeah, you're gonna fire up the boat. I'm gonna take it out, and I think I think he messes up here.
Who?
Charlie. I think because he goes, we're gonna take it out, and we're gonna get ourselves some oysters, and then Frank goes, and he goes, and shrimpies. Like, but I think he meant to say shrimp the first time, but since he just was talking about oysters, you know what I mean? It was kind of like...
Yeah, it was probably in his head.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like a mistake. Like, he meant to say shrimp, but they just went, and shrimp, too. Like,
yeah,
because they weren't talking about oysters before, and they never talk about it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think it was just like a mistake there. And so he's like, okay, let's fire it up. Toss me the keys. And
Frank tosses him right over Charlie's head.
Truly, though, who tosses overhand?
Frank, I throw overhand.
That's so crazy, though. Like, if you say toss me something, that does not mean
implied
overhand.
Underhand.
Throw
right?
means overhand. If I say throw,
right.
It's overhand.
Sure.
If I say toss, it's underhand. I don't know. It's like...
I think they're in tossing distance.
Totally.
Not throwing distance.
Yeah, of course
I think that's the factor right there.
Yeah.
Distance.
Distance. Yeah, distance is definitely a factor, yeah. And speed. Speed's a factor.
Speed is everything.
So yeah, he tosses it overhand, and the keys go plop right into the water. And this whole thing where he's like, what the hell? You know, they argue about the keys, and he's like, jump in there and get it. And Frank's like, no. You know, and Frank says, you know, I don't sink. He bobs around like a cauliflower.
Don't feed me lines, man.
Feed me lines. But
don't give me lines, man. Jump in the ocean, get the damn keys. Charlie gets like really mad.
Yeah, and he says, no, they're your keys, your boat.
It's true.
But no, that's so like that argument makes me so mad. Like
that is Frank being kind of an asshole. Like,
the argument is insane. That's like me taking your like I don't even know, like me like taking your car keys, throwing them over a wall, and being like, you get them, it's your car. You know, you'd be like, what are you talking about?
You're responsible for that, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's bizarre logic. It's like the ownership of the boat means nothing to you throwing the keys in the water.
Right. Frank's just being a jerk.
But Charlie's going to do it. Charlie's like, you son of a bitch. And now I would say 99.9% of people would take their clothes off to do this. But right. Charlie zips his sweat up,
hoodie up,
and he pulls his hat like lower down on his head, and then jumps into the ocean, to the river, completely clothed with sneakers and everything.
Now, is Charlie out to sea at this point, or
is he? I'm not sure. Out to river? I don't know. So then at the boat store, Mac and Dennis do some shopping, and Dennis explains the implication.
Yo. Hey, buddy. I got some turpentine, some wax, and some high-gloss boat paint. This shit is really expensive.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're telling me. I picked us up some new slacks and docksiders so we could have the right look, you know, and fit in and everything. We're running pretty low on remaining dick towel money, though.
Plus, we gotta fill that thing up with gas.
I know, man. We gotta pop by the department store, pick up the mattress. And I want to get a nice one, too. You know what I'm saying?
The what? The mattress? What do we need a mattress for?
What do you mean, what do we need a mattress for? Why in the hell do you think we just spent all that money on a boat? The whole purpose of buying the boat in the first place was to get the ladies nice and tipsy topside so we can take them to a nice, comfortable place below deck and, you know, they can't refuse because of the implication.
Oh, okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Well, dude, think about it. She's out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. You know, she looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I going to do? Say no?
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not going to say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Now, you've said that word implication a couple of times. What implication?
the implication that things might go wrong for her if she refuses to sleep with me. Now, not that things are going to go wrong for her, but she's thinking that they will.
But it sounds like she doesn't want to have
Why
sex
aren't you
with
understanding this?
I don't...
She doesn't know whether she wants to have sex with me. It's that
She
that's
doesn't
not
know?
the issue.
Are you gonna hurt women?
I'm not gonna hurt these
Oh,
women.
okay.
Why would I ever hurt these women?
I don't
I
know.
feel like you're not getting this at all.
I'm not getting it.
God damn. Well, don't you look at me like that. You certainly wouldn't be in any danger.
So they are in danger.
No one's in any danger. How can I make that any more clear to you? Okay, it's an implication of danger. You know what? Just drop it.
Let's drop it.
You're not gonna just buy your shit and let's get out of here.
So it opens up here, and you see them here at the boat store, and Mac has bought some paint and some like boat supply stuff to fix up the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But Dennis seems to have bought. He seems to have has bought. He calls them slacks, which I think is like,
Yeah.
strange.
It's such an old-timey way to say pants, I guess.
But like he's implying what, like khakis,
Yeah, probably.
and he got up some docksiders. Do you know what
Yeah.
docksiders are?
Those are shoes, right?
Yeah, they're like those boat shoes. Like
Boat
you
shoes,
know where
yeah.
they are when you see them. Like, oh, those
Like
are boat
Sperry's.
shoes. Yeah, Sperry's, exactly. And so apparently he bought those for both him and Mac. And, because he wants them to, blend in.
Have the right look.
Yeah, have the right look for the place. But they all this stuff here has been so expensive, and it would be. I mean, it would be crazy expensive.
Yeah.
They're running low on dick towel money, which means they had money left over, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming they have money left over after the purchase of the boat.
Which is
So
crazy.
Presumably, what, the boat... I mean, it's really hard to tell what the boat costs.
$1,000?
At this point. I guess so. I mean...
I don't know, maybe. They're running out of dick towel money, and they got to pick up some more stuff. Dennis has to go to the department store and pick up the mattress.
The what?
Yeah,
the
see-
mattress?
see, this
What do we need a mattress for?
This confuses Mac, which is like, why does this confuse Mac? Like, what does he think of mattress? Like, you have a houseboat.
You need a mattress, right?
I would assume.
It makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know why it doesn't click for Mac, but Mac was more thinking on the side of like, we need gas,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
supplies.
necessities. Yeah.
And that's funny too, because he is like, Dennis is buying clothes as opposed to what Mac is buying,
Mm-hmm.
And this is where he explains like, no, like the whole point of buying this boat was so we get the ladies tipsy upstairs, and then we have a nice comfy place. We take them downstairs where they can't refuse, because the implication.
Okay, you had me going for the first part there, but the second part kind of threw me.
I love this decision to make Mac like confounded by
Unaware.
this.
Yeah, it's just obtuse.
Because it is crazy what Dennis is saying. And what Dennis actually is saying is really dark, as Mac says.
Yeah, it absolutely
And
is.
it makes me wildly uncomfortable to even talk about. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
good.
Me too. Yeah.
But it's what everyone remembers from this episode.
Yeah. This is like implication. It's the implication. Like, as Dennis even puts it, she's out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. She looks around. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's no way for me to run. What am I going to do? Say no?
And now this is where Mac is like, now this sounds really dark. And Dennis goes, no, you're misunderstanding. And he goes,
misunderstanding me.
and I love this. He goes, yeah, I think I am.
I think I get it. But he's like smiling too. He doesn't know why.
Because he's like confused. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
confused. I think I am, but I like that he's being honest about like not understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, and a no means no, obviously, but she won't say no because of the implication. And this is where it's horrible what he's saying. Like,
Right.
He's justifying it in some crazy way. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to justify it to himself in some insane logic.
Right. He's saying he won't do the obvious wrong thing.
But she thinks he will.
Yes. Which is just as bad.
This is just
right?
the same shit. Yeah, it's the same. I mean,
Yeah.
he's setting up a scenario where she thinks it will. Like, he will.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's just as bad. Of course. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and this, like, where he's like, Max just leans in and goes, "Are you gonna hurt these women?" Like, he's like trying to because he doesn't understand.
But it doesn't sound like she doesn't want to have sex with you.
Right. And he's like, no. Dennis is getting like frustrated trying to explain himself. when he goes like, "No, you're not getting it," he goes, "No." Mac
Yeah,
goes,
I'm not getting
he
it.
goes, "I'm not."
I'm not getting it.
I love that when Dennis is like, "You're not getting it." No, I'm not. Like, I'm not getting it. Like, it's true. It's like I love how honest he's being. It's very rare to see like a character like misunderstanding someone and not trying to play along. You know what I mean? They're
Right,
just saying
right.
like, "No, I don't know this. Like, I don't understand this."
Right.
And good on Mac for like not even like thinking
Not,
this
like,
is like a thing.
Approving of his behavior.
Yeah, not
essentially.
approving of it. Yeah, yeah. And this thing over here where he's just like the lady,
pan over.
the lady is looking at me. Goes, "What are you looking at? You're not gonna get hurt." And then Mac being like, "So you are gonna hurt them?
You wouldn't be in any danger.
You wouldn't be in any danger. So
So
they are in danger. Yeah, exactly. So they are in danger. Like that sounds like that's exactly like. So there is a man in a code. It's just like, oh, like. And he's like, "No, they're not in danger." Well, you don't understand this or whatever. He starts yelling at him, but it's like true. Like, what is Dennis saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's weird that like Dennis. I mean, we'll see this later when they get the script flipped on them. But like they excuse their own behavior.
Right. But Mac calls it out later on
Critical
too.
of other people's behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
But like,
good on Mac for like putting that even together.
because it makes me feel. I mean, we all laugh at this, but it's horrible.
Yeah, I think it's more gross than anything.
So then at the boat, we see Charlie has been looking for the keys, but seems to be finding other stuff instead.
So we get like what, a tooth?
He's found a tooth, and I don't know, like a
bullet.
horse tooth, a bullet. This is a war relic. What do you think? Could be worth
Frank
something.
thinks it could
like-
be worth money.
Yeah, okay. And then this idea of Charlie being like, what? So Charlie's been swimming around looking for the keys, but he's like finding all this other stuff, and he's like, what could have happened down there? Like a horse massacre? And Frank
Could be.
says, yeah, could be. Yeah, could be.
Doesn't Frank know better though that there wasn't? I feel like old Frank would know. No, there wasn't.
Yeah, this Frank is just like, yeah, could be. Like, could be. Like, what do you mean?
Could be.
Oh, it's so funny. And so like, he can't see down there though. And now I saw this online, but somebody said that this is like another instance of Charlie holding his breath for a long time. They don't really show it. But remember you set that world. Remember you set that record. Remember you set
That is true. Yeah.
So Frank overhand tosses him the flashlight, which goes plunking behind
Great
him.
second beat.
Yeah. But that floats, so we'll be fine with that. And he hears like crashing or something going on inside. So inside the boat, Dee has been throwing stuff overboard, and Frank decides to gut the room. And we go inside.
No.
We get some diegetic music.
Yeah, we get some Rough Riders Anthem by DMX.
Like DMX, yeah. Also, like gets stuck in the
very catchy. Yeah. And Dee's throwing stuff out the window. Frank asks, what are you doing?
He just comes in casually,
She's
though.
like cleaning up.
He comes in,
and he's like fine with it.
Yeah.
He's like okay with the throwing it overboard.
He comes in so casual. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's just like what's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would describe Frank this whole episode as pretty casual.
Yeah, he's happy-go-lucky.
He's just
going with the flow.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing whatever, but he ain't scraping shit.
No.
So yeah, she's throwing shit out the window, and dolls, compasses, hairbrushes, and Frank's thinking, why we should gut this place. And he kind of.
Where does Frank come up with this idea? Frank is like so reckless.
Like,
I guess it's because it's not his investment. He's like a
yeah,
little more loose with it.
Yeah. Katie said it reminds her of the Extreme Home Makeover, which is true.
Yeah.
But like, just like the idea
Same
of,
tendencies.
and just the idea of like, and it's just funny. So he just like finds a hammer and he walks over and he starts smashing a bookcase that just like has stuff on it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even take the stuff
instead
off
of clearing
the
it out.
bookcase. So like, that's
he could probably just like rip those shelves out without
yeah,
like any force.
but
But
why does like what gut it? What do you mean gut it? Like, you need all that stuff that's there.
yeah, that's like the furniture. Unless you're gonna buy all new furniture.
Yeah, it's just such a fun. It's just like
I don't know. It's just odd.
It's just like the Extreme Home Makeover. The idea of just like gutting something and then like smashing stuff without taking the other stuff down or doing anything else. Just smashing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, And it's funny how Frank just sat smashed. At one point, die, you sucker. He like breaks a cabinet.
Die, you sucker. The way he says that's really funny.
He's like,
and
having
the fall at the end.
It's
like,
real. It has to
real.
be. Yeah, it has
It is
to be.
real.
Yeah. It looks so real. Yeah. It is so funny. He's like having fun.
Yeah, he's Demolition Frank.
And we should gut this place. And she just shrugs her shoulders. She's like,
She doesn't care.
So then Dennis and Mac return from shopping to find the boat trashed, Frank and Dee dancing, and Charlie in the water. And as we join the scene, Dennis is still explaining the implication.
Yeah, he's still trying to justify himself here.
Yeah, because Mac is making him sound like a monster.
Yeah, he's like, think of all the books, stories, and movies of terrible, awful things that happen in the middle of the ocean. Like, it's not making his case any better.
I was going to say,
is
like,
what
how does
I'm
that
saying.
help his
Like-
case? And Mac is kind of like not even listening. It's weird.
No,
now.
he's
he
not.
changed
He's-
completely before. He just doesn't care anymore at all.
Yeah, I think he understands now, and he's not into it.
And they come in here to the boat, and Dee is teaching Frank how to dance.
Yeah.
And they start arguing here for a while about how the trash, like the whole place looks smashed and there's like shit everywhere. And they were.
Yeah, they were supposed to make the boat look nice, and they just wrecked the place.
And she goes, what were you guys doing? Cleaning? She's like, we were cleaning. And they're like, where's Charlie? And Charlie's in the water. And then when they go out there, Charlie has like all this stuff on the deck, like muddy.
Oh, yeah, like, how did he get that gross that fast?
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it has, like, oil all over it.
And, they start to yell at him, but he tells them that there's a whole world of ancient stuff down there. And he comes up with this fantasy. I don't even know what to call it. This storyline of something that happened here. So he's going through some of the stuff that he got. What's some of the stuff he got here?
Like a pirate was brushing his hair, maybe killed a horse and jumped into the ocean.
No, that is such a funny, like, what does that even mean?
Well, he says there was a horse massacre in
Revolutionary
Revolutionary times.
yeah.
And then there was a pirate ship.
Yeah. And then some pretty dolls. And look at, she's pretty, isn't she? And
A weird little sidebar. She's covered in like shit.
And there's a hairbrush, maybe a pirate was brushing his hair, shot a horse, jumped in the ocean. Now, what does he mean jumped in the ocean? Like the pirate jumped in the ocean?
I guess so.
Well,
I mean,
what do you mean? Like, he found horse stuff in a hairbrush.
well, maybe the horse jumped in the ocean
I
because
don't
it got shot.
Maybe, I don't know. Such a weird, but no,
A nonsense story.
it turns out Dee has been throwing that stuff overboard for an hour.
And Mac is like, you've been dumping trash into the ocean?
But Charlie's like, but then Dennis interrupts with, but why were you in the water? And Frank's like, he dropped the keys. Like, no,
He throws him right under the bus.
Like, Frank,
it's not,
you threw them in
like-
the water.
right. Not accepting responsibility.
Yeah. And Charlie pleads his case. He can find the keys. He just needs some scuba equipment.
Do you know how much scuba equipment costs?
It probably does cost a lot.
I know, it probably does.
But who cares? Just rent the cheap stuff. Just get the cheap stuff. The way he says that is so
Yeah.
funny.
Just get the cheap stuff. In the meantime, we'll clear all the stuff off. We'll start to paint. All right. By the time you get back, I promise you, the boat will be looking better.
I love it. Now, is he patronizing Mac?
No, he is not.
Because Mac can't tell.
No, what he's saying is really stupid, but it's sincere. Okay, it's sincere this
What
time.
he's saying is really stupid. But when he does say, "Oh, I'm sorry too,"
Well, that was a little bit patronizing, and you know what? You can't patronize a captain.
that's a sea law. Don't talk to Charlie about the law.
He knows a thing or two about the law.
So then at the boat store, Mac and Dennis see a flyer for a party and decide to go.
We get a quick...
Shot of some duck boats.
Yeah, I was going to say, we get a quick shot of the duck boats.
Yeah, we get duck boats over here in Boston.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
I guess they began operations in 2003, and then they ceased to exist in 2016.
Boston or
so-
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. So
Oh.
they're kind of like not a thing anymore. It's
wow.
it's weird. It's like a dated reference now.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a duck boat?
No, I haven't.
No, me.
Have you?
No, I haven't either. It's like
You think growing up
Yeah.
around Boston, we would have, like, at some point.
Nah, it just kind of always looks stupid to me. It's like a tourist thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I always felt like, look at those idiots. And by the way, it's probably fine to go on a tugboat. It's probably a good time. I'm just trashing it because it clogs up the city streets.
Yeah. I mean, a vessel that goes from land to water is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love to own that.
I knew a kid I used to like skateboard with, and because we used to skateboard in Boston, and every time we'd see a duck boat, he would like bring up how like when he was a little kid, they let him drive it when they were in the water. It was like one of his greatest memories or something. He always talk about it.
Wow, some of the friends you have is you still hang out with this guy?
No, a long time ago. We're talking 20 plus years. All right, so this is great. So yeah, so this standing up front here, and Dennis is complaining about the rest of the gang and how they're driving him crazy. They're spending all their money. But Mac isn't really listening because he's looking at this flyer here. This flyer that has an anchor and two chicks, as he puts it.
Yeah, I think more like silhouettes.
Yeah, it's like this is like exactly like the type of flyer they would make.
Yeah, it's so generic looking.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like it's just nothing. And that's right. This is the type of stuff they should be doing. Going on this stuff, living the lifestyle. They keep talking about the lifestyle. And this is what they should be doing. And that's right. So they do that. They're gonna go to that. They decide, and they'll be back in the high life again, just like Stevie Nicks.
It's actually Steve Whitman.
Well, now this right here. This might be this is probably my moment of the episode. This little conversation and the acting that Dennis does. If you like watch this and you notice Dennis, he like when Max says he's like, oh well, they're the same people, and he says, well no, they're not the same.
Right.
Stevie Nicks if that's Steve Winwood and Stevie Nicks and Steve Winwood are not the same people.
Yeah, actually, one of them isn't even a dude.
One of them isn't even a dude. Max says, "Are you sure?" And the look on Dennis's face when he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure." Like he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure." Like the look on Dennis's face is like he's like maybe that was improvised, but it looks like it was the first time him hearing that. You know what I mean? Like it was like a genuine reaction of like, "Am I sure?" Like what kind of stupid question is that? Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean we've already solidified. Dennis has a thing for Steve Winwood.
Yes,
from
this is great.
season 4.
Yeah. So Matt gets confused. Stevie Nicks, Steve Winwood, and. No, obviously Stevie Nicks is a woman, completely different person, different genre of music.
Absolutely.
And they're talking about the song "Back in the High Life" again. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever Dennis is saying, he likes that song. They should buy the CD.
Well, first of all, I love that song too. That's why I already own the CD. I own all of Steve Winwood shit. You should know this. Secondly,
I own all. I want to break down it because I love this. He owns all of Steve Winwood shit, which is such a funny character trait for Dennis. And
I own all his shit.
And just like the way he phrases, "Yeah, I love that song too. That's why I bought the CD." Like I would probably say I have the CD before I even said I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love that song too. That's why I have the CD. Like, I don't know, it's the way he says
he's drilling it home. He's being a dick.
You think so? I mean, what Mac is doing would drive me nuts. If he was like Stevie Nicks, the same person, I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Then if he asked me if I was sure, I'd be like, "Shut up."
All right, fine. Maybe Mac is being an idiot.
He's just being like, he's like being difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right. He's being difficult about it.
And when Dennis says, we haven't been on the same page all day. What does he mean by that? Because it seems like they have.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they have been on the same page. I mean, they've aligned their goals on the boat.
They seem to be going to and from the dock.
Yeah, the whole episode.
Because they must go and change before the party.
Oh, they do.
And they also at some point, because he goes, "I can't believe I'll let you buy that inflatable gas." Guy.
Yeah, when did they do that? We don't get to see that at all.
They must have left the dock at some point.
Yeah, or maybe on the way to the mattress store.
Oh yeah, maybe on the way to the mattress store. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. So that's just like a quick little mention, like exposition of Mac bought one, like just so we're prepared for the next scene. So back on the boat, Dee, Frank, and Charlie are painting as Mac and Dennis return with the scuba gear. and Forever You Won't by Exhibit is playing. Wanna Get Dirty.
Wanna get dirty.
And this green inflatable guy is as Frank calls him, a puffy guy.
Puffy guy.
is messing with D here. It's like, and she's getting pissed.
Yeah, she's trying to paint, and Puffy guy is just smashing all over.
But it's not the puff. Frank doesn't blame the puffy guy. He blames the music, the aggressive music.
And he's like, it's got nothing to do with the music.
And Charlie comes running up here, and Charlie is about to say he found the key.
Right.
He's about to say it. And this is where Mac and Dennis come up and like, whoa, why is that guy off? Because D shut the inflatable guy off. Mm-hmm. So they interrupt Charlie, which is interesting because I wonder how this would play out if they knew they had the keys now. You know what I mean?
I know. It would have been a great moment, right? Everyone would have been happy.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, but Dennis is impressed because they actually have been painting.
Yeah, it looks like they've done a lot of the painting on the boat. If we get some extra paintbrushes and get to work and
no, they're not doing any.
Do the trim?
No, not doing any of the work. Yeah, and that's their. So they're like, Charlie did finance it though. So why is Charlie lumping in with the work?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up because this is like the dynamic of the bar. They all three of those dudes went in on a bar and they made him the janitor.
That's right.
They're doing the same thing with this purchase.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So it's a pattern. Yeah, and if you notice, like they're sunburned. They look like real bad and stuff. It's cool. It's good makeup and stuff. Yeah.
They did some work.
Yeah. They're not going to do any work. They have to go get ready to go to a party. Because, they need...
Not going to be doing any of that. What do you mean?
Yeah,
like Frank's like, what are you talking about? You're not going to be doing any of that. What do you mean? It made me laugh every time. Not going to be doing any of that. What do you mean?
Yeah, they need to entertain. And D can entertain.
Not looking like that. You look sunburnt and you get covered in paint and grime.
You guys look terrible.
All sorts of shit. Yeah.
And they leave, and but they turn around and Mac's like, keep up the good work. You see what they did there?
Now they flipped it on. Now they're patronizing us.
Yeah, but guess what? Charlie found the keys.
Yay! They were just floating there underneath the boat. They got this little floaty thing on them. This is amazing, by the way. We should patent this.
What? No. and Frank's like, yeah. Like,
what are they going to patent? Buoyancy?
Well, how could you patent something that already is patented and made?
You can't.
That's what I mean. Like, what do you mean patent it?
Right.
It's already been made. It's already a thing.
I think Charlie doesn't know it's already a thing, and he thinks it's like just happenstance that this thing floats.
It's a happenstance. That is so funny. That is so, and honestly, that is a great invention. Truly, right? For people that work on boats.
Absolutely.
You just have your keys on a floaty thing? That's like, yes, of course.
Yeah, never lose them.
Yeah. So then, at a boat party, Mac and Dennis meet some of their fellow sailors. And we see them walking up here all dressed up. They look good.
Yeah. We should talk about what they're wearing a little bit.
Yeah.
We have Dennis in a white shirt and a sweater tied
what do you think
over
about
the shoulders.
What do you think about that look?
Not for me, but, he pulls it off, I think.
Yeah, the shirt's a little too big. But I guess that maybe was a style then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to talk big. Mac's sweater that he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's wearing a blue and white striped blazer.
Looks good.
Shirt.
Yeah.
With a blazer over. He looks good.
Yeah.
But that shirt underneath is a little bit big.
I think it's
I
think it's supposed to be long over the hands like that.
Oh, really? I thought it was gross.
I don't know. I kind of like that.
It kind of reminded me of 90s goth look.
Yeah.
Like the cloth over the hand.
Yeah. So yeah, they're all dressed up here, and there's some. They're walking up to a really nice boat, nice yacht, as they call it.
Yeah, this is a nice yacht.
Well, no, what I should have probably looked this up, but when I think a yacht, I think huge, but I guess they don't have to be huge.
I guess not. I mean, that's a yacht. You get some furniture in there and stuff.
So they come stepping in here. Ahoyhoy, and Ross, you got anything on our fellow men of the sea?
I have 2 credits.
I know one of them.
Handless guy is played by Tony Rivard. He was in Betty White's Off Your Rockers, rest in peace. Wizards of Waverly Place.
That is a hard thing. That is hard to say.
Yeah, that was tough. The Shield and ER. And the other guy we have credited here on the boat is Ray. He's played by Don Swayze, Patrick Swayze's brother.
That's right.
He was born in 1958 in Houston, Texas. He was in NCIS, Sons of Thunder, Family Guy, General Hospital, Murder, She Wrote, The X-Files, and Walker, Texas Ranger.
Now, this room they walk into, to me, is scary.
Oh, well, we get a tough crowd in here.
Just the silence of it all.
Yeah, it's very quiet. We have guys playing poker on the right in that table. They're drinking their Coors Lights, I noticed.
There's some diegetic music going on. I couldn't quite pin what it was.
Yeah, it's really nondescript, right?
Yeah, and there's some guys playing poker, and they're like, "Whoa, is this a party? Are we at the right boat? Are we, maybe?"
Yeah, they're kind of confused walking into this. They expected maybe, mixed couples, or
yeah,
but
but
mixed company at least.
No, they're just getting warmed up. Party's gonna get started in a little bit. Just come on in, have a drink.
Yeah, Ray kind of tells them to come on in, grab a drink or whatever.
So weird, like this guy just invites just anyone to come.
Yeah, man. Out in the open ocean, anything can happen.
It's just crazy. I don't know, just crazy. But so they go into the little kitchen area to have their own little conversation, Mac and Dennis.
Yeah, they have a sidebar.
And they point out that these guys are even more sunburnt and barnacle covered than Dee and Frank.
Yeah, and they do look that way.
Yeah, and so they're wondering if they should just get out of there. But Mac pushes back a little bit here.
Yeah. Mac says, let's not rush to judgments, okay? These are real men of the sea. Maybe this whole thing isn't about meeting women. It's about, having an adventure.
Yeah. And that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, he's looking on the bright side of things.
Then they see this guy over here. This guy's got one hand. Handless guy.
Yeah. How do you lose that hand,
Yeah.
That was some sort of crazy adventure,
Yeah, it's
right?
gotta be.
Let's go find out.
And the way Mac comes over and the look on Mac's face, hey, how'd you lose that hand? The way he says it.
Like he's in prison, what are you in for?
And the way
delivery.
this guy is it's funny how he's propped up against the window with his arm up, kind of like a sea captain would be staring out the sea. You know what I mean? With his hand.
Yeah, he does have a grizzled look to him, where maybe he lost it by a shark or something.
Yeah, and they ask him, and it turns out it was diabetes.
Ooh, kind of tragic.
Yeah, not much of an adventure at all.
Yeah,
and. They're like, okay, we're gonna go off. They're acting very coy. They're very they don't
Yeah, they're kind of recoiling here.
And they would get this guy a drink too, but of course he can't drink.
Yeah, Dennis's voice even fading
and they
lower and lower.
And they both say diabetes at the same time together. The diabetes. Yeah. And you know what? I love how Mac is he admits it. You know what?
Yeah.
I was wrong.
This is a bummer. This is a major bummer.
I was wrong. So yeah, they're all right. They're okay, guys, we're just gonna leave. And I noticed that Dennis tries to take the champagne back. But
I was take the gift that you brought.
Yeah, the champagne or wine or whatever it was.
This is some
you still gotta
Frank
leave
Constanza shit.
Even if you were just coming and going, you still gotta leave it.
Yeah, it was for the party.
Yeah, and. This is where what was it? Ray? They call him Ray.
Ray.
Do they ever say Ray in the episode?
No, they don't.
Ray comes up to them because he doesn't want them to leave. Why he doesn't want them to leave, I don't know. Or why he wants them there, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But he lets them know, don't worry, we're gonna be setting sail soon, and they're gonna be out there on the open ocean, couple of tasty treats.
Yeah, it's gonna get nuts out there, fellas.
On the open ocean, no laws. Now, is that true? No laws. They're on the Delaware River, aren't they?
Just us and our tasty treats.
And the guy kind of walks off here, and they go back to their sidebar, immediately back to the spot where they just were, back to their sidebar. And was that was the implication, right?
That was definitely the implication.
That was the implication, he says. The implication, the same one that I'm using. You know what I mean? That was definitely the implication. Now, Ross, are they the tasty treats?
Yes, we're the tasty treats. They're going to tastily open the ocean, and they're going to have their way with us, Mac. We got to get the hell out of here.
Now, how do you feel with the term tasty treats?
It's so weird. It's kind of gross. Definitely gross. But it's just odd. I haven't heard it before this or since.
Yeah, it is a strange term. Like, we're going to be able to do some tasty treats. Like, I wonder where that came from.
I don't know.
The tasty treats. Like, I don't know. Like, and even when, like, Mac, like, I mean, Dennis later on says it, you know, we'll come back with a couple of tasty treats. Like, they keep saying tasty treats as if it's, like, an established, like, sailor talk or something.
Yeah. It's lingo now.
Yeah, so, and then, you know, right when they're going to try to get out of there, a bunch of women come in, and the ladies have arrived.
Ooh, before the women come in, Mac asks, is this how you wanted those poor women to feel?
That's right. I'm so sorry. I skipped over that. Yeah, that's right. He's like, yeah, and like, because again, Mac has like the intelligence to understand like what Dennis is saying.
Yeah, in this episode at least.
Yeah, and just being like this, like, and trying to say to Dennis, like, this doesn't feel good. Like, don't you? This is not good.
This is wrong. Yeah, now we're the tasty treats. This is how you wanted those women to feel.
I don't enjoy having this conversation with you, dude.
I feel like you're lumping me in with them. And now he's basically saying, excuse my behavior and not theirs, you know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And this is where the ladies show up, and a bunch of ladies come in. Like, fellas, the ladies have arrived. And, Russ, these are prostitutes, right?
You don't think they're yachters?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm unsure, but it is strange. Like,
I think all signs point to prostitute. Yeah.
And there's a lot of women too. Like, it's not like
just
there's
like 10 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, and we get a nice shot of them like turning around, like being happy.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, we really lucked out.
Yeah, and Back in the High Life again comes on.
Mm-hmm. What a beautiful transition. I just thought like it summed up like how they feel too.
Yeah,
because they mentioned like living the high life like a few times now, right?
Right, and so
this is them like, oh, it's come to realization.
Yeah,
we're hearing it. This is how they're feeling, you know?
Right, and this is like so we see Mac and Dennis's ideal version of living the high life starting to play out, and then we transition out to Frank, Dee, and Charlie's ideal version of living the high life, and they are also, and I life is also playing with them, and we're seeing them being happy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was such a cool moment.
So then, with the boat out to sea, Charlie, Dee, and Frank are hanging out and accidentally set the boat on fire. And yeah, the Steve Winwood music is playing, and this is Diajack music, and this is boat music.
Yeah,
this is good. This is good boat music.
I agree. It makes me feel at ease.
Yeah, it's a nice little tune.
And you know what? The inflatable guy, the puffy guy.
Yeah, puffy guy.
He's calmed his dancing down.
Yeah, and he's
not as aggressive anymore.
He's teaching decent moves.
This is such a funny, cool moment.
Yeah.
She's doing it in sync with him, and
it's like really looks good, like in sync. Like she's doing like a really good job. Yeah, and Frank has caught catfish, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So he's been grilling up catfish. He's living his high life. Dee's found her moment of dancing with the tube man. She's living her high life moment, and then we get Charlie.
We don't really get Charlie like he just would want to hang out on the sea, and I feel like they're not catching shrimp, but the catfish are something.
Right. He's enjoying it.
Yeah. And he wants them to cook up another one of those Delaware River catfish because they're so good, and you can they're delicious, and you could just taste that endangered tang.
And, a weird little comment.
And he says here that now, this is where Dennis calls Charlie.
Calls him, yeah,
and he wants to know, he wants to know if he found the keys, and yeah, he did find the keys.
Can you believe that?
He's being patronizing, right?
Yeah.
And that's good because he wants them all to go off because they're going to be bringing some tasty treats.
Tasty treats, if you know what I mean. I like how Dennis is jumping at the opportunity to use this new term.
Yeah, this new term, tasty treats. And Charlie's like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll get right on that. Hangs up on him. That's how you patronize someone. And you know what? The scuba gear that he got, it's junk. It doesn't work. Now he tried to use it, I guess. And Charlie's been wearing the same clothes that he's been jumping in the water with all day.
Yeah, he must be freezing.
And filthy. It must be so filthy. But apparently he tried to use the scuba gear, and it's funny because he said rent the cheap stuff, and it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
It's on him. It's on him.
and he throws it into the boat. I think we skipped over earlier when Frank is smashing around. He smashes the electrical outlet.
Yeah,
They do a little
smash it
setup.
up a bit. Some sparks fly.
Yeah.
It gives us the
later
idea that
justification.
there are some electrical problems with the boat.
Like him throwing this thing in here and it hitting the thing. This could happen.
Yeah.
And so he throws the oxygen tank in there and it makes a spark and it catches fire. And what do you do if the boat's on fire?
What do you mean the boat's on?
Well, the boat's on
the
fire.
boat on fire. The boat's on fire.
I love this. Like, find some water. Find some water. They all keep repeating it.
There's water
There's
everywhere.
water everywhere.
I like how he's like running back and forth. He doesn't know what to do. Like, that is a funny concept of like needing water, having so much water around you,
Yeah.
but you can't access it.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Dennis and Matt come back to the boat with some tasty treats to find that the boat is on fire. So these Mac is excited. Did this latest credited? Probably not.
None of them are credited, but Glenn in the commentary says that the woman on the right was a contestant on American Idol. I believe her name was Amy Davis.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. I had to like look that up.
Oh, that's interesting. Matt can't wait to get these ladies out to sea where they'll be completely alone to make rash decisions based on fear.
Right, Dennis?
Now, is he doing that to point out to Dennis how ridiculous it is what he's saying, or does he actually like...
I think he's on board with it now.
It's weird. Yeah, he seems to like almost... but he's saying it in a not manipulative... He's just saying exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is true. Like, it's weird that doesn't like set off any bells with the women. Like,
and everyone starts coming up out of the water here. And first we got Frank, and he's upset about the catfish. Endangered my ass. First they were toxic.
nipping at his heels.
First they were toxic my ass. Now they're endangered my ass.
We get a lot of my ass here.
Yeah, they were nipping at his heels. There's millions of them, billions of them out there, whatever he says. And then we get D. She comes out of the water. No more P Diddy boat.
Yeah, no more Diddy boat.
No more Diddy boat. And finally we got Charlie coming on out. Where?
Yeah, what the hell happened up there?
Where's the boat? And they could like that'd be the first thing I would say is this boat that's on fire.
Yeah, he's it's right there. He doesn't even say the boat on fire. It's right there.
And we get a nice shot of the boat on fire. The music kicks in, the Always Sunny music, and we get the boat on fire, and the puffy guy is flailing around.
You know, dancing to the bitter end.
Now, how did they do this? This is like CGI or something, right? Or what is this?
Yeah, this is like special effects.
It looks good though.
Yeah, it does look pretty decent. I mean, at the very end, the fire looks kind of weird, but thought it was pretty good.
So, Ross, what is your favorite character?
Oh, my favorite character is gonna be Charlie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going with Dennis.
Oh, okay.
Dennis has a lot of speeches and the Steve Winwood thing, the implication, the thing at the beginning my friends, they couldn't wait for that. Like the acting is just so good. Like when he goes psychotic, it's just so good.
Actually, I gotta switch mine to D.
Okay.
My favorite character is D.
I
for
talked
her
you out of Charlie
physicality.
and switched it today.
Yeah, the physicality.
Oh man, yeah, it's undeniable.
Very memorable.
What's your favorite line?
My favorite line is, "Don't give me lines, dude."
Really?
Like from Charlie. The way he says it just seems so real.
Yeah. Don't give me lines, dude.
I mean, I got some others, but that was the top.
Yeah, mine for me is my friends, they couldn't wait for that. But I also gotta do bring the guy over. We'll have a dance contest. Yeah, bring the guy. Bring that. Like,
Yeah, bring the guy over here.
bring the guy over here. Like, I don't know. That is funny. And what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is when Mac and Dennis go onto the yacht to the party.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're talking with that guy, and then like they have that sidebar where they get frantic and
Yeah. I think my favorite scene, though, I know it's stupid and small, but I think it is when they leave the store for the second time. They talk about Stevie Nicks and Steve Winwood. There's something.
oh yeah, you were really impassioned.
I
about
don't know.
that scene.
It's so funny about this. Like, it's just a funny conversation to be like same person. Like the way he goes, "Are you sure?" Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so that brings us to the IMDb trivia. These are 3 trivia facts. 2 of them are made up by me. 1 of them is on the website IMDb. Ross, please tell me which trivia fact that I wrote down is from IMDb.com.
Sure.
Number 1. Not one actor in this episode knows how to swim. Number 2. There actually was a horse massacre in the Delaware River. Number 3. The boat in this episode belonged to Danny DeVito.
I'm gonna go with 1.
Well, no, it's actually number 3.
Oh, Danny DeVito owns this boat?
That's what it says in the trivia. I mean, if that's
They
not,
didn't say it on the commentary. They said someone was living on it.
then I don't know.
Maybe Danny owns it and someone else lives on it.
I'm just saying that's what it says on the. I mean, I would take I would take the commentary's word over what anyone can put on IMDb.
Yeah, sure.
And speaking of IMDb, before we get completely out of this, first I want to read to you a review that. So you can leave a review on the episodes of each individual episode, and I've looked at them.
And how long you been doing this for?
And I've looked at them here or there, and I think we may have discussed 1 or 2. But here's to me this is very strange. This is a review that was left on this episode. Okay, this is from IMDb. This is on IMDb. Very funny storyline! Exclamation point. Very funny storyline. That's the title. This one is another one of my favorite quote unquote Sunny episodes, which I have watched at least 3 times. Now, Ross, I've watched this probably 3 times, like today, and I've been watching it all week. You know what I mean? 3 times. This is your favorite episode. You watched one of your favorites. You watched it 3 times. All right. This one takes place outside of their bar, and practically all of the scenes were shot outdoors. The gang decides to invest in a boat, despite none of them having any quote seaworthy experience. I don't know why that's in quotes. They don't have seaworthy experience. It doesn't have to be in quotes. Though they
don't have to have seaworthy experience to buy a boat.
So they do not realize that when they decide on their dream boat that they must do a lot of cleaning and maintenance to start. Now, this is just explaining. Is this a review?
This is like a review? You should write the reviews.
Well, how is
this
this
guy?
This is just like, what review is this? This is just saying what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is like a beat for beat, everything that happened.
How's that a review? All right, so then it goes into this. So next is, there's a subplot involving a group of guys on a different boat at the harbor who invited 2 of the gang for a party. He called that a subplot.
Okay.
I mean, subplot is a
say.
stretch on what was happening there.
No, this is like a tiny thing that happened.
I won't give away any more of the episode, and if you have not seen it, then you're in for a real treat. He missed an opportunity to say tasty treat.
Taste treat, yeah.
In for a real treat. Oh, and Dee does show off her natural dancing skills, though won't elaborate any further on this part of the storyline. Overall, a very funny episode, which I could watch for a 4th time.
Thanks, Eric.
Now, how crazy that is, this I think is even crazier, because at the bottom of this, it says 13 out of 14 found this helpful.
Wow.
13 people found that helpful?
What's wrong with that other person?
Yeah, exactly. Like, get on board, guy. All right, Ross, that brings us to our final thoughts on this episode. Tell me, Ross, does this episode have all the advantages of a regular episode, but with the excitement of the sea? Or this episode is not P. Diddy-esque at all?
All the advantages of the sea.
Yeah, we never go to the bar. The bar is never even mentioned.
I know.
If you watch this episode, like if you were just flipping through the channels and you watch this episode knowing nothing
what would you
about
think
it,
this is a show about?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is this a show about? We don't know any of their relationships. Like, none of that really comes into play.
But it really is, in a way, though, like, I guess they do reference dicktowel.com, but it is like a standalone episode. Like, I don't know. It's just like the boat never comes, none of this, like, I guess Dee's dancing comes back.
Yeah, that's our takeaway, pretty much.
Yeah, that's our takeaway, pretty
nothing
much.
else.
Yeah, like, Dennis doesn't really even mention the implication again.
There's no repercussions for sinking the boat.
Oh, no, yeah, that's true. There's no repercussions of them doing anything.
Right, but you would think, like, internally, I mean, there would be.
Right, yeah, it's Charlie's life savings.
Yeah, Charlie's life savings. The guys threw out some money into the boat. Like, how did this get paid back? Who cares?
Yeah. Imagine buying and losing a boat in the same day.
No.
Because this all takes place in the same day, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it takes place like within like an 8-hour period, I think. 12 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, great, obviously great, funny episode. I mean, it's in the top 10, probably. It's like a fan favorite.
Yeah, this is a great episode. I'd say top 15.
Yeah,
Top 15.
It's very funny. What do we got going on next time?
Next episode, we have Mac's Big Break.
Oh, the episode where 95% of our intro is from.
Yeah. And what can we expect from this episode, Eric?
Well, we can expect a podcast.
We can expect the podcast, yeah. We could expect the return of Rickety Cricket.
We can expect 2 wars.
2 wars!
Yeah, Ben the Soldier makes an appearance.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And the waitress.
And the waitress. Damn. We got a star-studded cast.
Yeah, we get the Duster. The Duster makes an appearance.
Wow. The future of radio,
Yeah,
you
the future
jabronis.
radio. Yeah. Yeah, we got...
Yeah, jabroni.
yeah,
Get that mentioned a bunch.
Yeah, it's funny. We'll have a lot. I mean, we're gonna have a lot to talk about because the podcast angle.
Oh yeah,
just like the
totally.
way they recorded and all that stuff and everything, and just Frank has recording them on his own cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, he's like flipping the tapes. His Luther Vandross mix.
Yeah. Well, and the obviously hockey. I mean, this is not regulation ground. Is one of the best.
The wig.
The wig. Yeah. The cape. The flag, this is like
American flag. This is great.
Yeah, it's a great episode. I would put this in my personal top. This would be in the top 10 for sure.
Top 10.
Yeah, the next one. It's a lot of funny going on in it.
It's a great episode. I can't wait.
2 wars, like that alone.
2 wars. I love that like announcer talk, like that radio talk.
But all right, well, thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate it, and please join us for that next one. We'll have a good time, and until then, a good day
to use. The Always Sunny cast is in no way endorsed or affiliated with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the FXX network, or Philadelphia. The views and thoughts expressed in this podcast are of Eric Regan and Ross Northrup. If you enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoy making it, please subscribe, rate, review, and pass it on. If you'd like to reach out, you can email us at alwayssunnycastpod@gmail.com or stay in touch with us by following our Instagram account at the Always Sunnycast Pod. We'll see you next time. Okay, well, one of them is Handsome Guy, played by Tony Rivard. He was in Betty White's Off Your Rockers. Rest in peace.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Before you do that, I don't think that is correct. I believe Tony Rivard is the guy with missing a hand.
Yeah, his credit, I believe, is Handsome Guy.
The guy that's missing a hand is Handsome Guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I mean, I'll look it up again.
Where did I see?
Oh, Handless Guy.
Yeah, that makes way more sense, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Handsome Guy? How could that be?
Yeah, there are 2 credits, Eric. One of them is...
Stop laughing, because the edit will sound insane. I'll put we should cut this and put it at the very, very end. That you're talking about the handsome guy.
Okay.